Hey, what's going on guys? It's your boy, Nerd Mode On, and today I actually want to talk with you about the effectiveness of tanks as of the moment. So considering that the Battlefield 1 open beta has officially launched for August 31st of 2016, the open beta will be a great opportunity for DICE to collect a lot of feedback from its community members and ultimately be able to stress test their servers to ensure that everything will work without a hitch, especially when the ultimate game does come to fruition. Now, the tanks in Battlefield 1 are a very time-sensitive subject considering that as of the moment, it seems like there hasn't been a whole lot of information relayed about what alterations will ultimately come to the effectiveness of these particular vehicles. Now, in the past, we've kind of talked a little bit about how one particular party believes that the tanks as of the moment are extremely overpowered, while on the opposite side of the spectrum, you have players that don't believe that these vehicles are overpowered whatsoever. So as of the moment, it does feel like the community is very split in terms of the feedback that they're providing and ultimately what we would like these vehicles to function as when it comes down to their primary role on the battlefield. So now that we've kind of talked a little bit about that, let's talk a little bit about the FT-17 light tank, and of course we're going to talk about the armaments that this particular vehicle upholds as well as the overall loadout that we'll be using for today. So starting things off, the primary weapon of this particular vehicle is a 37mm cannon, as well it is coupled with a canister shell, which makes it extremely effective at taking out vehicles as well as taking out infantry units. Now, some of the perks of this particular loadout is that it does offer a medical crate, an ammo crate, as well as the track repair, which is extremely beneficial at repairing the vehicle without having to expose yourself to outside forces. This tank configuration is really well suited while trying to support the infantry players while they move on to the objective. Now in Battlefield 1, unlike other Battlefield titles, it does not seem like there is a turbo mode to the vehicle speed of the tanks. So this leaves you in a very interesting position considering that you don't necessarily have a speed boost, especially when it comes down to getting onto objectives or even leaving them if you're taking too much damage. As a result of this, you really have to pick the environments that you find yourself in, so of course it's always a great opportunity to try to pillar something or to have a little piece of cover between you and the other players. Now in this particular build, using third person is actually very viable and beneficial in multiple different situations, considering that it does give you a larger field of view than if you were using first person. Now, if you couple this alongside the fact that the crosshairs seem to be fairly accurate in third person, this is extremely beneficial and it almost gets rid of the purpose to use first person considering that you do have other benefits that first person does not facilitate. So while using third person in other Battlefield titles may not have necessarily been the best decision and the most viable in terms of being effective, this time around I feel like it's one of the better options considering that you have the benefits of a higher field of view, the crosshairs are properly aligned this time around, and it does allow you to be on a swivel, especially considering that enemies can come from any particular locations, and the spawns seem to be a little wonky at the moment considering that players will normally spawn right behind you or within a vicinity of the flag. Now as a result of the spawns being a little wonky at the moment, and of course this stuff will be fine-tuned when the official release does come out, as of the moment it's a great idea to keep track of your ammo count considering that it goes a lot faster than you may imagine. While in Battlefield 1 we don't necessarily have the customization options that many players were watering at the mouth to get in Battlefield 1 open beta, it's still a great opportunity to try out some of the new equipment, and of course you will run into some conflicts when it comes down to your ammo count. So I would highly recommend for you to be mindful of how much ammunition you're using, and considering that there is no light machine gun or heavy machine gun on the light tank, of course this does leave players in a very interesting position. So when it really comes down to it, tanks in Battlefield 1 open beta as of the moment seem to be very powerful due to the limitations of the assault class not having all of the anti-tank weapons readily available to them. One of the largest limitations as of the moment is that there is a progression bug that has been limiting the amount of content that you are available to unlock per match. So of course this progression bug has been hampering players' abilities to unlock new weapons and ultimately anti-tank weapons that are effective against tanks. Now considering that this is an open beta and this is something that they're trying to stress test when it comes down to finding issues and complications with a lot of the loadout and progression systems, I'm sure this issue will be resolved for the final release. But anyway guys, that's really all the information I have for you. Hopefully you found something in the video insightful or entertaining, but until the next episode guys, this has been NMO and I'm going to be signing out guys. Peace!